Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 1, Kim Owen. We warmly welcome the family of Flight Sergeant Rex Allan Charles Hoscher, whose story will be told shortly. We also warmly welcome Group Captain Ernie Walsh, President of the Air Force Association, ACT Division. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Club Association. We welcome members who are watching the ceremony broadcast across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is got by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. If you're able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Flight Sergeant Rex Allan Charles Hoscher. Rex Hoscher was born on the 8th of August 1920 in Bullee near Inverell on the Northern Tablelands in New South Wales. The son of Herbert Adolph and Doris Hildegard Hoscher, he attended Naremburn Junior and Technical School and went on to work as a photographic salesman at Harrington's. Rex Hoscher enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force on the 19th of July 1941. After initial training, he began training as a wireless operator air gunner. After attending wireless air gunner school at Ballarat and bombing and gunnery school at Evans Head, he spent some time at Headquarters Richmond. On the 22nd of May 1943, Hoscher married Pearl Bell. A son, Ray, would be born to the couple the following year. In mid-October, Hoscher was transferred to an operational training unit at East Sale in Victoria. He trained as a wireless air gunner for multi-engine aircraft operations, learning to operate with a crew. In January 1944, he joined No. 15 Squadron. The newly formed Light Bomber and Maritime Patrol Squadron flew anti-submarine patrols off the coast of Australia, supporting Australian Army and Royal Australian Navy operations, and conducting photo reconnaissance in Bristol-Beaufort light bombers. On the 29th of March 1944, Flight Sergeant Rex Hoscher was the wireless air gunner aboard a Beaufort A9 550 that crashed just after takeoff at Menangle when its port engine failed. All 5 RAAF members on board were killed. Aircraftman Class 1 William Bray, Flying Officer Ronald Durant, Flight Sergeant Harry Johnston, Flying Officer Howard Weller, and Flight Sergeant Rex Hoscher, who was 23 years old. The crew members were buried at Camden War Cemetery. Survived by his young wife and infant son, Hoscher's loss was deeply felt. His family continued to place memoriam notices in the newspapers for many years. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among nearly 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Flight Sergeant Rex Allan Charles Hoscher, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
If you're able, please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We'll remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub of Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.